As you get older, say late teens, early 20s, when you reach what you see as adulthood, you think that back in the day you've matured from what you were when you were younger, and the decisions you make now are better than the ones that you made in the past. While this might be true, it's not entirely the fact, as your brain in this time is still a child's brain, an underdeveloped brain compared to what you are when you reach the age of 25, which is when your brain fully develops into an adult brain. And the things that you do in the past, specific decisions you make and actions you take, can affect your brain in reasonably consequential ways. And that's what I want to talk about today, that being the maturity and the decision making. Now, first off, your brain, again, fully doesn't develop into an adult brain until you reach the age of 25. And the decisions you make in the past, such as taking drugs, can affect your brain in not very good ways. That's why when you're young, your parents always say, don't do this and don't do that. As a young person, you don't like being told what to do, and this is a universal thing for a lot of children where they want to rebel. That's their early teenage days or even their younger days from that, and they decide to, say, take drugs. A way of describing this is, say, you have a keyboard or have a computer. That's your brain. Then you take drugs, that's like putting a virus in your computer, and you try to fix it by doing, say, a hard reset. Now, this might be a temporary fix, but in the end, it makes a horrible situation even worse. Now, I'm not here to yap on people who do this kind of thing. Everybody has a right to make their own decisions. I'm just a guy trying to give advice. And the thing about that is, the decisions you make, you think they might be good for you, but they might have consequences later. And say you decide to move to a different country. When you're younger than 25, you have this air of, I'm an adult now, I can do what I want. And while that is the case, you haven't taken in the consequences of your actions and the decisions you have to make in order to prevent those consequences. Now, if you're planning to go to a different country and you're young, you think, this will be easy, I just have to do a few things and I'll be fine and dandy. That's not necessarily the case. For example, you're going to a different country, you have to figure out how much it's going to cost, accommodations, work, if you're going there for a vacation or going there to move and to live there. It's a myriad of things that you have to do and sort out. And again, you might not realize this when you're younger, being in your late teens, just finished high school, or your early 20s before you're 25, and you're independent. But the thing about maturity is it's not just age that defines it, because everybody is different depending on their life experience and their circumstances in that life. I've met people younger than me who are incredibly mature, and they talk and act like they're adults when they are in their early teenage years. And this is because of the environment that they grew up in, along with the ways that they had to act in order to both protect themselves and others. And then you can meet people older than you, say adults in their mid to late 50s or 60s, and even elderly who are in their 70s and 80s. And age doesn't equal maturity. I've met plenty of old people who act just like children who are like 3 years old. And again, just because you are older or younger doesn't determine your level of maturity. Your brain fully develops into being an adult brain where you can make better decisions when you're 25. That doesn't mean that the decisions you make when you're young are going to be horrible, and that doesn't mean the decisions you make when you're older than 25, having matured, are going to be fantastic. Everybody's different. The point I'm trying to make here is that when you're young, you don't have to make big decisions. And if you do, you have to take in the consequences and the actions that you're going to take during that decision. And then when you're older, just because you think that you've fully matured doesn't mean you're not going to make horrible decisions. And when you're young, doesn't mean the decisions you're going to make are going to be horrible. They might be very good. Everybody's different, but the key thing you have to take out of this is wait until you're fully matured to make decisions that'll affect you and your life. You only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest, but make sure that in doing so, you make decisions that are good for yourself. So, yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. So, I hope you guys took something out of this. So, I'll see you.